Hey everyone, welcome back to Team Chaos MTG. I am Dodge, and today we're going to be talking about an announcement Wizards put out yesterday afternoon. Changes coming to Pro Tour qualifications, the 2019 GP schedules, and Magic Fest, which sounds like one thing, but it's a whole bunch of things. So basically what the article's telling us is that Grand Prix are going to be renamed Magic Fests, or they're going to become part of Magic Fests. It's not really sure which. Like it sounds like they're just going to turn every Grand Prix into a small convention, like a 3 to 4 day thing. Presumably they'll be adding a bunch of stuff, and they will also be still holding the Grand Prix. We're also going to see Pro Tours, of which there are 6 this coming year. We'll see those happen at Grand Prix as well, or at Magic Fests, but Magic Fests are going to have Grand Prix, so I guess they're all just kind of becoming one thing. From the sounds of it, Magic wants to expand these events beyond just competitive players or casual players who happen to be in the area or want to see their favorite artist or cosplayer, because right now, outside of Grand Prix Vegas or maybe Eternal Weekend, Grand Prix are just kind of a whole bunch of side events. They don't really offer a whole lot to casual players or just, people walking by outside. A lot of the times, Grand Prix are held at convention halls with other conventions happening, and I see a lot of outside people asking questions, and sometimes they stroll through, but from the outside looking in, if you don't know what it is, it doesn't really seem attractive or enticing to go check out whatever this other thing is. So it's cool that they're going to be doing that. They're also going to be changing the qualification systems for the Pro Tour. Wizards had announced earlier that they want to give out fewer invitations over the course of a year while still having more tournaments. They also mentioned that they wanted to increase prize pools, and we'll see what those look like in just a minute. But for now, here's the bulk of this article about Magic Fest. The Grand Prix schedule for 2019 is finally here, and with it comes an update on how you qualify for the Pro Tour in 2019. Uh, Basically everything I just said. We're also losing the PPTQ RPTQ system for something that's a bit more one-sided. We're going to look at this here. We see the Grand Prix is still going to feed into the Pro Tour. Open events with multiple invites, and then invite-only events. So basically what this looks like is we're going to see a return to the old style PTQ system, which was you go to a PTQ, you spike it, you get to the Pro Tour. There will also be open events with more than one PT qualifying spot for the Pro Tour in them. Reading through it, it sounds like all of these things are going to happen at Magic Fests or at Grand Prix, with a few exceptions. They do say that WPN stores will be able to hold these events, but I'm wondering what level a store is going to have to be at, because if they're trying to reduce the overall number of invites throughout the course of a calendar year to any number of Pro Tours, and they're getting rid of the RPTQ system, which seemed to cut down that number as well, then I'm not really sure how this is going to work. They also go on to mention that satellite style tournaments you will be able to qualify for and then play in as many as you want until you qualify for the Pro Tour, as opposed to qualifying for a region and having to play in that region. Speaking of geography, though, they do tell us that Grand Prix are no longer going to be feeding into the next Pro Tour. Rather, it will be region-based. If you win a Grand Prix or you top 8 an event in Europe, you're going to end up going to the next Pro Tour in Europe, which I guess is good for international players, especially if you aren't on the Pro Tour already, if it's your first time, if you don't have any Pro Club status per se, that probably makes things a good bit easier for you. The article finishes up about like that. When we announced 2019, we would feature 6 Pro Tours. We're signaling the next year is going to be year of change. They do tell us at the end here, though, that 2019 is what they consider a transition year, and they're basically looking to revamp the entire system by 2020. So we'll see what that's all about. They do not seem to be changing the way that Magic Online feeds into the Pro Tour, so if you guys are trying to qualify, I highly recommend that. And we can go ahead and take a look at the schedule for next year. Now, one of the other things that they're doing, which I actually really like about all of these announcements, is that they're going to be determining the formats for events closer to the actual event date for Pro Tours and for Grand Prix. Out of 48 or 49 we have listed here, I think less than half actually have a set format. I could be wrong on that. But that's pretty exciting. I think that makes things better for Wizards and for the players. Even though you get a little bit less prep time, they are able to maneuver the formats for these events to avoid anything like a standard with 15 banned cards or an unhealthy modern format 6 months from now. Anything that happens, they can come at it from a direction other than just drop the ban hammer. And we'll also look at the new prize structure. They're going to be getting rid of the $50,000 every Grand Prix with the top-heavy payout system. And they're going to have tiered Grand Prix. I'm not sure if that's going to be based on estimated registration or how they're doing that at all. But we can see that an $80,000 Grand Prix is going to pay out exactly the same that a normal $50,000 one has up until this point, but we're paying out more people. They're also paying out only down to $200 as opposed to people showing up for a $100 Grand Prix and getting 50 bucks. Moving down the line, it looks like they cut things by about 40% on the top end, which I guess isn't that bad. It seems fair. I'll be honest, I am a fan of the more top-heavy payout system for events like these, but leaving that to the Pro Tour, Worlds, the World Cup, whatever they want to do as far as that goes, does seem good. If this brings in more players, I'm all for it. So that's about everything we have to say on the subject right now. Not a lot of other information is available for it. I couldn't find anything else too specific on Reddit. So if you guys hear about anything or just want to jump in the discussion, leave a comment below. And as always, have a great day.